All right, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we're going to talk about should you use discounts in your ads as a med spa. Now, I think this is going to be a good one because this is a pretty heated topic. You have some people that say never use discounts. You have other people that say always use discounts. Typically, what I've found is that a lot of med spa owners hate using discounts. And so let's dive into it. So why should you listen to me in the first place? Well, I've run two types of ads for my med spa clients. I've run discounted first treatments and also discounted packages. And I simply just want to share with you what my experience has been so far, right? So in this video, I'll share my recommendations when it comes to using discounts in ads and whether or not it brings in low quality leads. So what we'll cover is expectations versus reality when using discounts for your ads, the low quality lead conundrum, and then my recommendation for using discounts effectively based on my experience. So first off, let's just take a minute to understand med spa advertising with discounts in the first place. So discounts usually, and I probably don't have to say this, but discounts usually look something like 50% off your first treatment. It's typically $697 and today it's only $97. $97 welcome package of some sort, right? Anything where you're providing a treatment or a bundle of treatments at a lower price than your typical rate. And I know you're like, why are you even telling me this? I think defining it is actually really important for the rest of this video. The purpose of using a discount is to get interested people in the door with something quote unquote irresistible, such as 50% off, something that gets their attention so that you can then sell them something more expensive later down the line, right? So you get people in the door so that you have the opportunity to sell them a treatment plan or a package of some sort. And so I have the image here of $500 off, less fat, more muscle. That's the type of thing that it looks like. So as a med spa owner, you probably hate running discounts, right? With your past or your current agency, you probably ran an ad to a discount. They got you tons of leads. And the expectation was that all of the Facebook leads are going to respond on the very first contact. They're going to be very enthusiastic and excited. You'll have a 100% booking rate and a 100% show rate. And all of these new clients will turn into treatment plans, right? All these new patients are going to buy your $1,000 plus treatment plans right after they come in for the first time. Your expectation is that you're going to get perfect, fully qualified leads who are ready to spend $1,000 to $5,000 on packages, walking through the door days after the campaign launches, right? And I believe that this expectation that you have probably stems from your experience with word of mouth referrals and walk-ins, right? Because word of mouth referrals and walk-ins are easy to sell, right? For example, if I sent you a referral, you could probably reach out to them once, or you could just bank on them coming in on their own, and then they would book with you and buy with you, because word of mouth referrals and walk-ins, they already have some level of inherent know, like, and trust with you, right? And so your expectation is you're going to launch ads, have a 100% booking rate, 100% show rate, and then you're going to have 100% of people upsell into treatment plans. In reality, after you launch your ads, the leads are coming in, which feels really good, right? But they don't respond to any of your calls or your texts, right? Or if they do respond, they have 101 questions and they never actually end up booking, right? Or if they do end up booking, they never show up to their appointment. Or if they do show up to their appointment, they don't end up buying the initial first discounted thing, or they don't end up buying a package, right? And so you conclude that all marketers are liars. Facebook ads don't work for your med spa. Using discounts in your ads only attracts discount shoppers who want the awesome front end deal, but then never want to buy anything else. Therefore, this style of marketing does not work for you, and you must instead advertise your packages directly, or just give up on advertising altogether, right? And so this is what it usually looks like. You try running ads, you get leads, the leads never respond, or if they do, they never book in, or if they do book in, they never show up, or if they do show up, they never buy a treatment plan, and you determine that Facebook ads don't work and the leads suck, right? So let's talk about secret unicorn leads. So you further conclude, based on your experience, that your ads must be profitable immediately, or this isn't worth your investment, right? You decide that you must advertise your treatment plans on the front end because that will bring in these secret high quality leads that nobody else in your market knows about, right? By advertising your treatment plans, you will only attract ultra qualified leads who are ready to buy today, right? And here is your secret unicorn leads, okay? Now, here's the big misconception with discount, right? I hate with discounts. I hate to break it to you, but ultra qualified leads who are ready to spend $1,000 to $5,000 on a package or a treatment plan with a business that they have never heard of before simply do not exist, right? I need you to just erase that idea from your mind. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for a second here. And I can already hear you saying, oh, but one time we had somebody walk in and they just told us that they were ready to buy a package with us right away, right? They were a cold lead. They just walked in off the street. But in reality, that person probably did their research ahead of time. They probably price shopped every single med spa in your area. They probably consumed a whole bunch of your social media content. They probably researched the treatment that they wanted ahead of time. And there was just something about the way that your med spa looked in the pictures that they saw on Google that they liked a little bit better, right? Good luck building a sustainable business off of people like this who just, immediately want to pay you all of their money. Okay. I also see a lot of marketers who try to delude you into thinking that they have some magic sauce or secret system where they can just handpick these unicorn leads from thin air without using any discounts in your front end ad, right? And while it is 100% true that what you advertise and how you advertise it affects the type of lead that you attract, it is 100% true that you can run ads without having to say 50% off, $500 off, etc. These marketers are simply trying to appeal to what you want to hear, which is, hey, I don't want to run discounts. So they tell you, hey, I have this secret special thing where you don't need to run discounts, right? One time I even saw a marketer claiming this, and I see people say this all the time, like, oh, run ads without running discounts. So I always look up the ads that they're running for their clients, and almost 100% of the time they're using discounts, right? So they say, oh, we don't use discounts, and then they do. So I don't really know what the deal is there. And here is your, your sleazy marketer here who has their magic sauce that gets you these unicorn leads, right? So what your ideal patients want is an offer that they perceive is an amazing deal, right? Whether they're poor, affluent, etc., it doesn't matter. Everybody wants a good deal, okay? What does matter is the way that you dress up and present that amazing deal to people. So these marketers who do it without discounting, they just dress up the offer so that it doesn't look like a discount, even though it really is, right? And there's nothing wrong with this. It's actually a really great idea. But trying to make you believe as a med spa owner that they're not using some kind of free or low priced or discounted intro offer in some way is just plain silly, right? It's just not true. And by the way, low price doesn't mean that it has to be below $100, right? I've advertised offers all the way from free all the way up until $399, right? So low ticket can be pretty subjective. But what does matter more than price is that people want a deal, right? There isn't some hidden market that loves spending above market prices or loves immediately buying $5,000 treatment plans with companies that they've never heard of before, right? I need you to just simply remove that idea from your head. So here's the truth, right? Running discounts 100% works. And anyone who sells you the dream of leads who are ready to buy $5,000 treatment plans immediately is an absolute liar. And it is your job to take someone through a sales process that converts them from a lead to a buyer, okay? And the way that I define a qualified lead is someone who has the problem that you solve and they've showed interest in what you're advertising or the way that you solve that problem. Period. End of sentence, right? It doesn't matter if this person came in for a free consult, a $97 treatment, a $297 treatment. The only thing stopping them from buying a treatment plan from you is that they haven't been walked through a strong sales process yet, right? And that's what we're going to talk about here. I believe that every single lead has the potential to buy a $1,000 to $5,000 package, even if they're the tire kickers who you decide aren't worth your time for whatever reason, right? If you truly believe in what you do and the solutions that you provide to your patients, you should not treat any leads differently, right? You should treat every single lead the same, even the ones that you deem are tire kickers or like don't respond after the first text, right? And so this is the way that I define a qualified lead. You get a cold lead from Facebook. Do they have the problem that you solve? Yes. Did they show interest in your solution by putting their hand up and saying, I'm interested? Yes, then they are qualified, right? And we should pursue that person as if they are qualified. And I can already hear people saying, oh, I call BS on this, right? Because whenever I explain this to someone, I'm usually met with a lot of resistance, right? I can hear people saying, yeah, you can say that all you want, but that hasn't been our experience at all, right? Our sales process is great. And anytime we run discounts, the leads still don't buy. But when we actually pry into their sales process and kind of pick it apart piece by piece, I always find some kind of glaring issue almost 100% of the time, right? And if you sacrifice even one piece of a solid sales process, it simply will not work, right? You have this amazing, this is a Lamborghini. I'm not much of a car person, but I'm pretty sure this is a Lamborghini, but it doesn't have the wheels, right? This car is not going anywhere without the wheels. It's the same thing with your sales process. If you're missing one integral piece of your sales process, you could be doing everything else perfectly and it won't work. And so here are some of the key indicators that your sales process sucks for your MedSpa, right? Well, you aren't getting any leads, right? That's the biggest issue. If you're not getting leads, you don't really have a business. You aren't giving new leads an opportunity to book themselves in for an appointment, whether they either just book themselves in directly or they book in a phone call with your team so that they can get scheduled for their appointment. You aren't following up with your leads at all. You call and text your leads only once or twice. Your front desk person swears that they're calling the leads and you just take their word for it, right? You aren't calling your new leads within 5 minutes of their form submission. You don't have a text conversation script ready so that when people ask questions such as, when people have questions and objections such as how much does this cost, you actually have something to say that isn't just here's the price and then they never text you again, right? You don't have a phone script that predictably turns people into appointments. You're doing absolutely zero reminders after people book so they don't show up to their appointment. You aren't sending people any content that actually gets them excited for the appointment. You don't have a proven first visit process so that when someone comes in, you're basically just kind of doing whatever they bought on the front end and then you're saying, hey, we have these amazing packages. Feel free to come back if you're interested, right? You don't have a proven consultation script that sells your treatment plans. If someone says, I'll think about it, let me get back to you, etc., you just say, okay, let us know. And then you watch them walk out the door, never to be seen again. Or you don't have a consult, or you have a consult script and you just assume that your techs or your providers are running through it and using it well, or they're even using it at all, right? So this isn't an all-inclusive list. This is just a handful of things that I brainstormed right off the top here. But if you're doing even just one of these things, right? If you don't have even just one of these things, then it is very unlikely that Facebook ads are going to work for you. And it's not your fault, right? Because agencies do not explain to you what is required for success, right? They run the ads, they send you the leads, they maybe give you some rudimentary guidelines like, hey, you should call your leads or you should use our script, but that's about it, right? And I don't blame you for thinking that the leads are shit because I would too. But for example, like just to give one random example out of a sales process, if you call your leads just once or twice and you determine that they're a burnt lead, you are sacrificing so much potential business and so much potential revenue. Because I want to give you an example. Literally just yesterday, I called a lead for one of my clients, and this was the 4th time that I was calling this lead, right? She hadn't responded to any of our texts, any of our calls before that point. And not only did she book an appointment on that 4th call, but she was telling me that she was so thankful that we were following up with her so diligently because she was a busy mom and she just kept forgetting and pushing it off, right? And most agencies and med spas, what they do is they don't get the response after the first text or the first call or maybe even the second call, and they just determine that that's a bad lead and we're not going to keep contacting them. And I think that there's this like idea that you're bothering people, but you have to remember that these individuals put their hands up and said, I am interested in this thing, and so it is your job as the business owner, the med spa owner, to follow up with that person and make sure that they can get the thing that they are interested in to solve the problem that they have. Right? Most people, they call and text the lead one time and they don't get an answer and they determine, oh, the lead sucks. But in my scenario there, we called and texted once, no answer, twice, no answer, 3 times, no answer. And then on the 4th time, they answered and they booked an appointment for a $399 intro treatment. And we have the opportunity to upsell that person into a $2,500 package or more, right? And so here are the key indicators of a strong sales process. So you get lots of leads, right? So instead of getting no leads, you get lots of leads. You give your leads an opportunity to book themselves in for an appointment or book an intro phone call with your team, right? You follow up with your leads diligently. You call and text your leads a minimum of 4 times each in the first 3 to 5 days. You have 100% confidence that whoever is responsible for calling the leads and texting the leads is actually doing so. You call new leads within 5 minutes of their form submission. You have a text conversation script that's ready to go, which answer the most common questions and objections. So when someone says, how much does this cost? You don't just give them the price and then say, are you interested, right? You actually have a proven script that can turn that person into a booked appointment. You have a phone script that predictably turns leads into appointments. You send several reminders after they book, ideally one time per day ideally one time per day up until their appointment. And then you also call them the day before to confirm their appointment. You send people content that gets them excited for their appointment. Your first visit is designed in a way that sells the return visit for you. You have a proven consultation script that sells your treatment plans. And then if someone says, I'll think about it, let me get back to you, you have a plan of what to say next so that you can still convert that person into an appointment or into a treatment plan. And then you also have a consult script and you practice using it with your techs and your provider. So you don't just give a script and say, good luck with this. You actually practice using it, right? And again, this isn't an all-inclusive list. This is just a handful of things here. But these are some key indicators of what a strong sales process does look like. And now this probably sounds like a lot of work, and that's because it is, right? But doing the work required to turn cold leads into new patients is one of the highest leverage activities that you can do, right? Because when you get it right, you build a sales process that predictably acquires new patients for $1,000 to $5,000 treatment plans, right? And this isn't just you sitting around and waiting for word of mouth and referrals or people to walk in off of the street. This is something that you have control over, because if you build a system where you can put money into paid ads and you know that you will predictably get new clients and patients back who are going to pay you for your high ticket treatment plans, then how much money would you put into the ads, right? You put more and more money into it, right? And so in that case, when you've kind of cracked the code and you figure it out, your marketing budget is unlimited because you would continue to put more money in if it's working for you. So can discounts work? Yes. Discounts can absolutely work. The quality of your leads is like 20% the ad that you're running and 80% your sales process. And so if you're having a low lead quality issue, then you should focus on fixing your sales process first before you decide that Facebook ads aren't worth it. And just remember, whenever a marketer of some sort is saying, "Oh, we don't use discounts," like we'll run your ads in a way where you're not using discounts. Just keep in mind that they are still using discounts. They're just dressing it up in a way that makes it not look like a discount. Everybody is using some kind of low ticket front end offer to get people in the door because that is just simply how this works. So if you need help with this, and if you'd like for me to help you build a sales process or pick apart your current sales process so that you can start to predictably turn more cold leads into treatment plan sales, then go ahead and click the link in the description and book a call with me, and we'll build a custom tailored plan specifically for your business. And I will see you in the next video.